Last week we discussed 5 different reasons why people should consider marriage. And if you haven't watched that video yet, there is a link in the description box below. Now, just because there are some benefits to getting married, including more financial stability, lower cost of living, faster achievement of financial goals, etc., I definitely don't want to put out this idea that marriage is a great idea for everyone. If your marriage does fail, the results can be pretty disastrous. According to economist Jay Zagorsky, divorcees can expect an average wealth drop of 77%. That's a lot. Now, you may be asking, well, how do I ensure that I have a successful marriage? And that's a pretty big topic to cover, but one big part of ensuring that you have a successful marriage is making sure that you have a great marriage partner to begin with. So with this in mind, let's go over 6 different qualities that make up a great marriage partner. Quality number 1, a comparable income. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and just say that these 6 qualities are in no particular order, but I have a feeling that this particular quality is going to put me in a lot of trouble, so let's just go ahead and get this one out of the way. Now, am I saying that your partner has to be rich in order for them to be a great spouse? No, of course not. Come on. But your partner should be in a position to contribute an equal amount towards the marriage. This is especially true for heterosexual couples. A 2015 study from economists Marianne Bertrand, America Manica, and Jessica Pan showed that wives who earned more than their husbands were less satisfied with their marriage, spent more time on household chores, and were more likely to divorce. Now, a big part of this is due to societal norms. In the United States, we still have a really big problem with women who are breadwinners, but a part of this is also due to the strain of an unbalanced relationship. When one partner earns significantly more money, they often feel anxious or resentment towards their partner for not pulling their weight. Obviously, there are exceptions to this. For instance, graduate students are foregoing current earnings in order to increase potential earnings, and I know a lot of couples have found it financially in their best interest to have a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad. But as a general rule, it is in your best interest to find a marriage partner who can contribute at least a comparable amount towards your marriage. Quality number 2, responsibility. Because it is one thing to earn an income, it is a whole other matter to actually manage it. Now, obviously, being responsible is a lot more than just being able to manage your own finances, but you can tell a lot about a person's level of responsibility by looking at the way they manage their money. So don't be afraid to ask your partner, do you have debt? And if so, how much? And what is your plan to get out of that debt? Do you have money put away for an emergency? Do you have money put away for retirement? Don't be afraid to ask your partner these types of questions, because when you're marrying them, you're not just marrying them, but you're marrying their financial history and their money habits. Quality number 3, shared values and common goals. If you are in a legally binding partnership with someone, it's pretty important that you have shared values and common goals. This way you can work together as a team, which will increase your level of satisfaction within the marriage. For example, Matt knows that one of my biggest values in life is financial stability. So he's on board with paying off our debt as soon as possible so we can build assets for retirement. In fact, researchers at Utah State University found a positive correlation between shared values and both marital happiness and individual well-being. Quality number 4, a willingness to compromise. In order to have a lasting marriage, it is very important that both partners are willing to compromise. This is especially true for heterosexual couples. Now, this is not to say that compromise isn't just as important to same-sex couples, but according to research, same-sex couples are just way better at this than heterosexual couples. According to a long-term study of 130 newlyweds, men who allow their wives to influence them have happier marriages and are less likely to divorce. In fact, if men are unwilling to share power in the relationship, the marriage has an 81% chance of failing. Now, if you're unsure of how to determine your partner's willingness to compromise, I'd say take a closer look at the way you have disagreements or arguments. Is your partner always the one who's right, or always has to have his or her way? If so, maybe that person is not the best marriage partner for you. Quality number 5, compatibility. And by this, I mean, do you actually enjoy each other's time? Are you friends in addition to being lovers? And speaking of being lovers, are you getting down and dirty on a regular basis? Eventually, yes. Your looks are gonna fade and both of you are not gonna be as smoking hot as you are now. And really, that's where that friendship factor really starts to come into play. But in the meantime, sexual compatibility is a really big factor here. For you ladies that are in a heterosexual relationship, the probability of divorce dramatically drops when a husband reports being sexually satisfied within the marriage. So I'm not gonna tell you how to play out your bedroom fantasies, but it's kind of a big deal. Finally, the last quality that I wanted to discuss today was resilience, meaning how quickly can your partner bounce back from a personal setback. Now, I don't think it's a secret that stress can have a huge impact on your relationship, but whether or not stress makes or breaks your relationship depends on the amount of resilience that both of you have. One way to determine your partner's level of resiliency is through observation, meaning how does your partner handle personal setbacks? Do they get right back up and still go after their goals? Or do they just give up completely? Now, a lot of this is going to be dependent on experience as well. Couples who practice handling those smaller, manageable stressors are better equipped to handle those larger catastrophes. So before you tack on kids or relocation, try living together for a few years as you begin to develop those proper coping mechanisms for stress. As always, thank you so much for watching my video, and if you are interested in watching more, feel free to hit the subscribe button below, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're alerted with any new updates. And until next time, I wish you all progress and prosperity. Take care.